Persona 6 can do the unthinkable and finally add an adult Persona user in the party, which has not been done for 24 years now. The last playable adult included in the main party was in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and that game came out in 2000, back when my Tamagotchi is still alive and kicking. But are we fans actually okay with having an adult party member? Won't it be weird to see a 40-year-old bonding with teenagers? Do we have what it takes to witness a boomer summoning their persona? Well, I believe yes. And here's why Persona 6 needs an older party member. But before that though, if you like the idea of having older Persona users in the party, then like this video and join Otaku Define for more Persona content. Also, I'll be talking about different Persona users here, so spoiler alert for all of the Persona series, yes, including the big bad reveals. Alright? Now cue the cats. Older Persona users in the series are always interesting, but it's kind of a bummer that they are either spin-off characters, alternative universe, or whatever Persona 5X deal is, and most often than not, they're the baddies. Adult Persona users have this atmosphere around them that makes them engrossing and downright cool that fans will support their cause no matter how unhinged they are. Making wishes into reality? Sign me up. You want to throw people into the TV world? I'll cheer you, King. Oh, you're a cop?
We just despise the police is all.
Suffice to say, we need more of them. And Persona 6 has the best opportunity to include an older Persona user in the main party. Despite P6 being set in high school again, this doesn't necessarily mean that we will only have teenagers in the group. And this isn't just some wishful thinking or a checklist just to make Persona 6 look different. There are actual logical reasons as to why Persona 3, 4, and 5 never had an adult Persona user in their main party, but Persona 6 can. For Cease in Persona 3, the running theme for the main cast is their difficulty to deal with loss and mortality. Like Yukari joining Cease to investigate her father's passing, Ken's emotional revenge for his late mother, then Junpei teaching Chidori about life, while she taught him about death. The characters in Persona 3 are dealing with loss and mortality for the first time, and their arcs showed how they accepted to always remember that someday we will die. It needed a younger cast to show the fragility of human emotions when it comes to facing death. Older characters would have been more adjusted in dealing with loss, such as Mitsuru's father being able to directly tell them about a disaster and the prophecy of the fall. The investigation team in Persona 4 consists of young Persona users, which aligns with the game's central themes of self-acceptance and of course solving the murder mystery. The TV world in Persona 4 symbolizes the characters' inner struggles, fears, and desires, all of which are tied to their youth and search for identity. Each stage of the TV world reflects their flaws and their journey toward accepting who they truly are. Then on the other hand, the murder mystery aspect required the team to rely solely on each other without turning to the police, as they are the only ones capable of saving those trapped in the TV world. Narratively, it made sense for the party members to be young since they were the ones who got trapped in the TV world. Then the growth of the investigation team depended on their ability to find the true killer. Failing to solve the crime would have resulted in Inaba being engulfed by the fog. And I love how P Studio used the tension during Nanako's scene. If the characters hadn't learned the importance of looking deeper, controlling their emotions, and seeking the truth, then they wouldn't have been able to solve the murder case. I always look at the scene as the player's moment of facing their inner struggle. Therefore, including an adult in the investigation team wouldn't have fit the story's themes or narrative structure. Then of course we have the Phantom Thieves of Persona 5. They hate adults.
Just be grateful and take the intel.
We're sorry, we just have zero trust in the police.
I told you to stop smiling when you say that.
But there are more reasons why there are no older Persona users in the main story. The theme of rebellion in Persona 5 portrays adults as part of the corrupt system that Phantom Thieves are fighting against. Including an adult in the party could blur the distinction between oppressors and the oppressed, weakening the game's clear message about the power of youth to challenge and change the status quo. Persona 5 is about restoring control, manifesting one's own sense of justice, and challenging societal norms and changing hearts to be freed from the acclimated prison. These ideals are often associated with younger characters in many stories, reinforcing the game's focus on youthful rebellion and transformation. In general, all of these games focus on young Persona users to tell the story of independence, coming of age, and most of all, they are relatable. But then, doesn't this mean that Persona 6 should also continue with this formula? Well, not necessarily. As I've said, Persona 6 is a good opportunity for the series to include an older Persona user. Not only will it benefit from breaking tradition and setting up a fresher storytelling, or making the characters more relatable to older fans, the Persona series have slowly introduced the dynamic of having an older Persona user in the group. This can be seen in how well the chemistry work in the spin-offs. With Persona 5 Strikers, fans really adored Zenkichi, and this is because of his growth and redemption. Unlike the younger characters, Zenkichi's sense of justice is shaped by years of experience. His moral dilemmas and the gray areas he navigates add nuance to the story, offering a different take on the themes of justice and rebellion in Persona 5. We also see this kind of dynamic with Toshiro from Persona 5 Tactica. Then with regards to Persona 5X, it seems they are not hitting the brakes in adding older Persona users. Now, this isn't just a simple prediction of pattern. Just because the series are now adding older characters doesn't mean that they will finally introduce an older Persona user in the main party. However, Persona games have always crafted their characters to align with the theme of the story. And since we don't know yet what the theme of Persona 6 will be, that leaves room for a lot of speculation. Like, for myself, I've truly crafted various themes that Persona 6 could explore in the past videos, such as changes in the environment, mental health, and the impact of technology. Given that the previous entries have proven that the dynamic between an older and younger characters are amazing, then there's a strong possibility that Persona 6 team could accommodate an older character in the party. And most of the theorized themes for Persona 6 actually suits older characters. Like imagine, since Persona 6 will still be set in high school, we get to have a Persona user who is the MC's homeroom teacher. This can already give way in having a schedule to explore the shadow world, then balancing the school life and having a closer tie with the main group. They can also provide their insight about the worsening environment, feeling responsible on how the youth and future generation now has to inherit their mistake. It can also be about the difficulties of dealing with mental health, be it with themselves or a student they failed to save. The choice is limitless. It might happen, it might not. Only P Studio and Atlus knows. But hey, if they were able to create incredible and unique stories for Persona games despite using the same high school setting, then I bet I'll enjoy what they got cooking for Persona 6. Speaking of which, if you're curious why Persona 6 is still set in high school, then check this video out. Join Otaku Define for more Persona content. This is Math, and stay awesome my dudes.